Now you might be thinking, dude, you're forgetting Russia. I'm not forgetting Russia. Russia's just a little bit more easy. A little bit more easy. We don't have to go historical deep dive. I mean, we can, if you really want to go back. You can go back to the thing of there was the Rockefellers Standard Oil Company of New Jersey and New York, which set up oil fields in Russia and then bankrolled, which, by the way, if you didn't know, Chase Bank was owned by the Rockefellers, and they bankrolled the Bolshevik Revolution. I mean, you can go back in history and talk about that if you want. We're not going to do that. That's a lot more history that we got to dive into. I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, in case you didn't know, the Rockefellers funded the Bolshevik Revolution, and they have oil fields in there and all that stuff. But we're not going to get into that. Let's talk a little bit more easy stuff that points things out. Let's talk World Economic Forum. Let's talk Putin. Let's talk what's been going on lately. We don't have to go as deep because it's it's more obvious than with Russia. First, let's ask the bugman himself, you will eat the bugs, Klaus Schwab, about Putin. Little warning, if you have headphones, this is the only video that I can find of this interview. There is a feedback, not a feedback, but like a microphone popping in two of the spots. It's quite loud, so headphone warning, but try and listen to specifically what he says.
And I have to say, when I mention now names like Mrs. Merkel, even Vladimir Putin and so on, they all have been young global leaders of the World Economic Forum. Mm-hmm. But what we are very proud of now, the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets. So yesterday I was at a reception for Prime Minister Trudeau, and I know that half of this cabinet, or even more half of this cabinet, are for our actually young global leaders of the World Economic Forum.
Putin, young global leader. Now keep in mind, if you do go to the Young Global Leader website, there is a lot of people that we know for sure are young global leaders that have been scrubbed from the website. There's a lot of them. Putin is one of them. He's been scrubbed from it, but he specifically said Vladimir Putin. And on top of that, he talked about how every government across the world, they have penetrated the cabinets. Well, that includes Russia and China. So we've got Klaus Schwab here saying that Putin is a young global leader. Why would Klaus go out of his way to mention Putin? That would be kind of a random thing if it wasn't true. Keep in mind, many people today have been scrubbed from the website. In 2019, so not too long ago, 2019, oh, that was right before the 2020 thing happened, right? Video of Putin and Schwab, they had a meeting right before that certain event took place. Little interesting. You had Soros meet with Xi on November 22nd, 2019. Then you had Schwab meet with Putin November 27th, 2019. Curious. Quinky-dink? Maybe. I don't believe in quinky-dink still. Here's a video from the Russian media about this meeting.
Россия и дальше будет принимать участие во Всемирном экономическом форуме в Давосе. Об этом заявил Владимир Путин на встрече с основателем авторитетного дискуссионного клуба Клаусом Швабом.
Такие международные площадки, как ваша, Всемирный экономический форум в Давосе, он, конечно, востребован и приносит значительную пользу. Поддерживает людей в своем стремлении работать открыто в рамках действующего международного права.
Наша цель, как вы уже сказали, способствовать укреплению сотрудничества между деловым сообществом и госструктурами. Вызовы, с которыми мы сегодня сталкиваемся, будь то проблемы климата и экологии, проблемы экономического роста, могут быть решены только путем сотрудничества на глобальном уровне. Меня называют отцом четвертой промышленной революции. Я написал об этом книгу. Хочу вам ее подарить.
Okay. I know it might be difficult to follow along with what they were saying and everything like that. The point was, because I've got the transcript here, the point I was trying to show is there is visual evidence that they were meeting in 2019 when this happened. So let's look at the transcript, which can't come straight from the president of Russia's website. I'm not going to go through the whole transcript, but there's some very interesting things. Putin stated, and this is his quote, "This is why your international venue, the Global Economic Forum, is in such demand, and it is of great use. This is why we have always supported and will continue to support our relations with the forum you founded." Schwab, on his turn, gave Putin his Fourth Industrial Revolution book and said, "I also heard that Russia has managed to make significant advancements, especially in striving to develop artificial intelligence." Which, if you don't know, one of the leading things of his Fourth Industrial Revolution is the development of artificial intelligence and the melding of man and machine. So we've got Klaus saying Putin was a young global leader and that they penetrate every cabinet in every government across the the world. Then we've got it where they're meeting right before the 2020 event and they're talking about the Fourth Industrial Revolution and all that stuff. Very interesting. Well, if that's not enough for you, because I have a feeling some people, that might not be enough for you. Let's just take a look at this. You know how I was saying where they may be saying one thing, but yet they're developing the exact agenda that the WEF has been wanting to do? Well, let's take a look at this. Straight from the World Economic Forum's website from 13th October of 2021, Russia joins Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution Network. The Russian Federation and the World Economic Forum announced the Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution, Russia. The center is an autonomous, non-for-profit organization hosted by the ANO Digital Economy and will be a platform for public-private cooperation. AI! Ooh, there it is. Artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things are key areas of focus for this new center. Policies and frameworks will be shared and scaled through the Global Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. If Russia was so against the elites, why in 2021 would they do this agreement with them? Let's just take a look a little bit further on this. I got to remember the point I wanted to point out. Let's see here. Hold on. Okay, so part of the forum's global network, the new center will bring together leading businesses, policymakers, and members of civil society to co-design and pilot innovative approaches to technology governance. Technology governance. Hang on to that. Over the past 5 years, the WEF, Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution Network, has expanded to 15 countries, and it is now Russia, procurement of artificial intelligence and accelerated responsible blockchain deployment across the global supply chain. What kind of kicked off when the Russia-Ukraine thing happened? Oh, there was a lot of stuff about the global supply chain and things of blockchain started being deployed from it. That's kind of coincidental. A little coincidental. Let's see. The president of the World Economic Forum and the deputy prime minister of Russia, on behalf of the Russian government, signed this agreement today in Moscow. So, if Putin, if the rumor going around is his goal was to eliminate the globalist elites because he's so against it, why on earth would he not only sign an agreement with them, but also get into a war to start instituting this global blockchain, this global supply chain blockchain system that they're specifically talking about in this? Coinky-dink, huh? That's a whole lot of coinky-dink, I'm telling you. Well, there's more. There's more. Let's see. Let's go ahead and talk about, where is it? The digital ruble. That's right. The Bank of Russia has been working on a CBDC, a digital ruble. What's something that we know that Rothschild said, "Oh, international currency CBDC. Well, Russia's working on one of those too. It's gonna have to work with the digital ID, right? Well, if we take a look at this right here, Putin tasked with preparing decree on using digital ID instead of a passport. That's just from a couple days ago. This is from March 28th, 2023. I don't have the actual article to show you, but I can read you a portion of it. Putin has instructed to submit a draft decree on the use of a digital ID card instead of a civilian passport by May 1st. This is coming straight from the Kremlin. May 1st, right around the corner. By May 1st, the Cabinet of Ministers, the Ministry of International Affairs, and the FSB must submit a draft to establish the procedure for presenting a digital ID card. Man, they're falling right in line with the agenda that needs to be done, isn't it? It's a whole lot of quinky-dink. Also from the article, it says, one of those responsible is the Prime Minister of the Russian Federation, Mikhail Mishustin. Why am I mentioning that name? Well, if we go back to 2021, the WEF's Cyber Polygon event. Mikhail Mishustin, Prime Minister of the Russian Federation, is one of their guests of honor right next to Klaus Schwab. The WEF Cyber Polygon from 2021. Huh. What a coincidence. What a quinky-dink. Interesting. So the same man who's helping draft up this digital ID for the digital ruble was also a part of the WEF Cyber Polygon. You know how Klaus, when he said they penetrated every cabinet? Huh. Let's also take a look at some of the participants that were involved with the 2021 Cyber Polygon event. Let's see, we got TASS here, which is Russia's leading state news agency. Really? Then we've got NTV, which is one of the top Russian federal broadcasters. Huh, more Russia. Let's keep going. Oh, look at that. Saber Bank, straight from Russia. Russia's largest bank and leading global financial institution, was also a participant. Then we've got Tinkoff here, an online financial ecosystem centered around the needs of its customers, yada, yada, yada. In line with its AI banking strategy, the Tinkoff ecosystem uses artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies. Where's Tinkoff from? Oh, from Russia. It is the third largest financial institution in Russia. Oh, there's more. Mail.ru Group, largest internet business in Russia. MTS, also from Russia. That's a whole lot of Russia involved with the WEF and the global elites. Again, you know the old saying of it takes a lot more faith to believe in the Big Bang, where nothing exploded and created everything, than it is to just believe in God, a creator of everything. I have the same thoughts about anybody who can look at all of that and still tell me Russia and China are enemies of the U.S. and the global elites. No. Here's the deal. The entire world is shouting the same narrative. China and Russia want to defeat the globalists. The entire world, from mainstream media to alternative media, from secular believers to Christian believers. Everybody believes that China and Russia want to eliminate the globalists, when in reality, they are a part of the globalists. We've been fed this lie so many times that people have believed it. If you want to look at it, the two circles, it's the same thing. You sit there and your natural instinct is, oh, they're the same. But somebody walks in and gets you to make a decision that one of them is actually bigger than the other when your original instinct was right. The fact is, everything unfolding right now that we know according to the agenda that we know of, they are doing exactly that. They are falling exactly in line with it. It's just under the guise of these extravagant events and the political game that people believe that Russia and China are at war with us. They're not. The hands of the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, George Soros, Kissinger are all over them, both countries. Government, medical, societal, land, everything. It's all over them. As each one, China and Russia, play along with the global events and continue to develop the same agenda programs promoted by the WEF. Every event that you see conforms exactly how the WEF said it would in their 8 predictions for the world in 2030. It's all falling in line. The fall of the United States, as China and Russia rise to the occasion, is exactly what they said was going to happen. And we're seeing exactly that. I mean, again, the destruction of the dollar, every country is developing all these Agenda 30 things. They're creating the international CBDC. Russia and China are getting involved with that. When you look at everything taking place, it makes much more sense that China and Russia are in on it all. Again, if you throw out the idea that they are at war with the U.S. and the globalists, and then you look at the events unfolding and then make a decision on whether they're a part of it or against it, it makes a whole lot more sense that they're a part of it. It does. It just does. This is something that I have had in the back of my mind for so long as I was going through this. This is something, again, it's not something that I worked on every day, but it's something that I actively paid attention to and kept gathering stuff over years. This is something that I've been working on years because from the beginning, something in my brain was telling me that makes no sense if they're actually against it. It doesn't make sense. And when you look at everything, it makes a whole lot more sense that they're all on the same team, playing a specific part, just like they did in World War I, World War II, the Bolshevik Revolution, all of it. Vietnam, everything. Just go back and take a look at all this stuff. French Revolution, yeah, take a look at that too. All of that stuff is funded by specific people to play a specific part to get a certain agenda to go through. And we're seeing the exact same thing happening now. The thing in Russia and Ukraine, that's part of it. You look at China and Taiwan, that's part of it. The French revolutions that you see right now, we just talked about how that's not making much sense either because it's all a part of it. All of this stuff is unfolding exactly how they need it to by people above them with a bigger payroll. And China and Russia are a part of it too. So when you look at everything going on out there, everything unfolding, the dollarization, the central bank digital currency, the Agenda 2030, 15-minute cities, social credit score, all this stuff, everything is falling exactly in accordance with the agenda, and both Russia and China are a part of it. They're just playing their part. Blockchain getting introduced into the global supply chain, which we know that was talked about for months and months and months when Russia went into Ukraine. That's what they were doing, is they were setting that up. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to believe. That is the last thing that I want to do. What I am going to do is I'm going to present you with these things, and then you have to make that decision. Once you make that decision, though, if you do, that they actually are on the same team, as new information comes rolling in, and you have that new mindset that I believe is opposite from the great deception, not the great deception, but one of these great deceptions happening today. Once you have that new mindset, this new information that comes rolling in, it's going to make a whole lot more sense. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. If you don't like it, I'm not giving you your money back. Sorry. But I'll send you a nice sorry note, apology note, but yeah, it makes a whole lot more sense. So hopefully that gives you guys something to think about. Hopefully, I don't know. If you got questions, let me know. I'll do the best I can to answer it, but that's where I stand. That's why I believe that Russia and China, they're part of the game.